Hey there, Hyper here. Dragon Blood Morph is a topic that gets brought up a lot, so I decided to make a video about it. Dragon Blood is Dragonknight's main healing ability, which heals you for 33% of your missing health and gives you major fortitude, but that part is rather irrelevant since you'll be getting that buff from your potion anyway. The ability can morph into either Green Dragon Blood, which works the same way but also grants you minor vitality, which increases your healing received by 8%, and Major Endurance, which increases your stamina recovery by 30%. This morph also lasts 3 seconds longer than the base morph. The Endurance, just like Fortitude, is irrelevant since you'll get that from your potion. Minor Vitality, however, is very useful, and the only other good source of it is Mystic Guard. All the other sources are some terrible item sets like Holofang Thirst, Naga Shaman, or Order of Diagna, which you'll never use. The other morph, Coagulating Blood, completely changes the way the skill works and makes it scale with your offensive stats instead of missing health. And the way it scales is, it takes your higher resource, Magic or Stamina, multiplied by 0.129125, plus the higher of your damage types, be it weapon damage or spell damage, multiplied by 1.35581. On a Dragonknight tank, your stamina will be the higher resource, and your weapon damage will always be higher, or at least equal to your spell damage, thanks to minor brutality. So from now on, I'll only refer to these as stamina and weapon damage. This healing can be further increased by up to 50% based on your missing health. So from all of this, you can already tell that Green Dragon Blood will be better while you're at low health, while Coagulating will be more consistent. But where exactly is the breaking point? I made a few charts where I can input weapon damage, max stamina and max health, and it'll let me see at which point Green Dragon Blood, which is the dark green line, becomes better than Coagulating Blood, which is the red line. The chart also has Green Dragon Blood amplified by minor vitality, which is the light green line. A few things to mention before we start looking at those charts. All these comparisons are done on a node. On arrays with bonus weapon and spell damage, the results will be skewed more towards Coagulating Blood. All comparisons are done in 5 heavy, 1 medium and 1 light setup. Heavy armor pieces will skew it towards Green Dragon Blood due to bonus health, while medium armor will skew it more towards Coagulating Blood due to bonus weapon and spell damage. Food with maximum stamina would skew it more towards Coagulating Blood, but it isn't worth the greatly reduced sustain, so all the tests are done on Orzorga's Smoked Bear Haunch. So, the first chart shows comparison on my regular dungeon setup against bosses: Archdruid, Turning Tide on Body, and Bagbard Olorim. With this setup you'll have 3235 weapon damage, 18605 max stamina, and 41960 max health. And with that, the breaking point where Green Dragon Blood becomes better than Coagulating Blood is 64.9% missing health. So it will be stronger when used below 35.1% health. If you've already used Green Dragon Blood in the last 23 seconds, then you'll have minor vitality, and the breaking point moves to 58.7% missing health. So Green Dragon Blood will be better than Coagulating Blood when used below 41.3% health. The next chart shows the same setup with Olorim changed to Powerful Assault. With 3091 weapon damage, 19757 max stamina, and 43358 max health, the breaking points are at 61.6% and 55.8% missing health. Next chart, my regular setup with Turning Tide changed to Yolnacrin. Breaking points at 69.3% and 62.6%. Next, my regular setup with Olorim changed to Crimson Oath, breaking points at 54.2% and 49.2%. Next, my regular setup but with Ignis Weapon skill which provides major brutality, breaking points at 74.8% and 67.4%. And last, a trial setup: Archdruid, Turning Tide on Body, and Yolnacrin on Backbar. When we count in all the group buffs like Major and Minor Courage, Major and Minor Brutality, Powerful Assault, Pearlescent Ward, Horn buff which increases resources, and Minor Toughness which increases max health, the breaking points are at 78% and 70.2%. Now I didn't say which skill is better in any of these comparisons because I wanted to keep it purely mathematical and objective. In my opinion, Coagulating Blood is better in all these scenarios except the Crimson Oath one. What else impacts the choice? Minor Vitality can also be obtained from Mystic Guard, so if you're getting guarded, like for example on Falgraven hard mode, you can count this out of Green Dragon Blood's advantages. Green Dragon Blood is absolutely awful against healing absorb mechanics. It'll heal you for almost nothing while you're at high health, making it impossible to get rid of the healing absorb effect. And by the time you're low enough for Green Dragon Blood to do something, it'll be too late. This kind of mechanics can be found on, for example, first boss in Dreadsail Reef, Lilanar and Turlasil, or first boss in Erdenroot Enclave, Corruption of Stone. But of course that's not everything. In situations like Smaja Execute, you have to look how much of the healing done to you is being done by your healer, and how much is being done by yourself. Green Dragon Blood's minor vitality will boost all your healing received by 8%, but the skill itself will heal for almost nothing when you're close to out-healing the mark. Both Morphs will proc the Burning Heart passive, but Green Dragon Blood has a tiny advantage of being 3 seconds longer. If you want to keep up that 12% healing received buff, you'll have to recast them every 20 or 23 seconds, even if you don't need a heal at that moment. You can also proc that passive with Hardened Armor, so if you're using that instead of Balance as your source of major resolve, then you can disregard what I said about recasting Dragon Blood. To make a final judgment, I think Coagulating Blood wins and will be objectively better in a huge majority of situations. Green Dragon Blood can be better in some very rare circumstances, but personally I'm never switching to it because I dislike its inconsistency. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.